one. Do you get bruising after a tummy tuck, is this question. Do you get bruising after a tummy tuck? Any of you who have had a tummy tuck, feel free to pipe in. Do you get bruising after a tummy tuck? The answer is yes, you do, but maybe not as much as you might expect.
Depends if you have liposuction with it, doesn't it?
Totally depends on if you have liposuction, you get a lot more bruising. I've got to say, over the years, I'm seeing less bruising after liposuction than I used to. I'm putting in more fluid to tumesce. Yeah, I only got it where I got liposuction. I'm putting more fluid where I tumesce, to tumesce, which means to inflate out the tissues. When we do liposuction, we fill you with fluid and then we suck the fluid and fat out. I'm putting more fluid in. The fluid contains adrenaline. Adrenaline constricts blood vessels, and I'm waiting longer before I start liposuctioning. And surgeons don't like hanging around in theatre not working. So, and you know, time is money, and everyone, you know, so you've got to get going. You've got to be moving efficiently. You don't want the patient to have a long anaesthetic. So we don't like waiting for stuff, but it is quite important to wait. So what I actually do is put the tumescent solution in first, then do something else, and then come back to it 10 or 15 minutes later, and there you go, good to go. And I think technique is important. I think technique helps. I just think years ago I had done less of it, and people bruised more. Definitely not as much bruising as I was expecting. Yeah, and you sometimes get people saying, "Did you liposuction that?" It's like, yeah, I've got a photograph of a bucket for you. So here you go, bucket of your fat. And it's nice to see it when it comes out yellow, nice yellow. Anyway, so you do get bruising after an abdominoplasty, but it's not dramatic. It's not awful. I get more bruising with liposuction, and I get more bruising with liposuction in particular areas. Liposuctioning the back is, I think, an area that really bruises. If someone's actually having, standalone back liposuction, lying them on their front, liposuction in the back, it's quite a tough area to get through, and that can liposuction. That can bruise. Which do you do first, lipo or the tummy tuck? Both. I do. So during a tummy tuck, you're lying flat, and I will start off with liposuction. I will liposuction the whole front of your tummy at this point, if you need it. And the reason for that is if you've got quite a thick abdominal wall, then it's quite hard to pull it hard, because that thickness of the abdominal wall reduces its compliance, it's less springy. So I liposuction all of that. However, it's not terribly easy to liposuction smoothly when you've got a wobbly surface. And if there's a lot of abdominal wall skin, which there often is if you're having an abdominoplasty, then everything's kind of wobbles. I can't feel it so well, it's mobile, it's not as controlled a situation. So I get all of that just to enable me to do the tummy tuck really effectively. Then I do the tummy tuck, then I liposuction again, and at that point I'm really paying attention to make it as even as possible, so I'm feeling and making it really even. And then during the abdominoplasty, I have brought in the skin from the sides, and actually I can get around the sides much more easily at that point than I can at the start of the operation. At the start of the operation, all the skin is just kind of flopping onto the sides, and I can't really get around. So between that and the fact that we then tilt the operating table from side to side, I don't often need to turn patients to liposuction quite a long way around. If there's an awful lot to do, or if I have to go above the mid-back, then I would turn you to do your liposuction as well. So yeah, I do liposuction at the start, and I do it again at the end. The Mons as well. The Mons gets a look in, the Mons, the bikini bit. If I'm going to liposuction that, it's usually at the end, that's an either or, because it doesn't usually need that much liposuction. I remove fat from the Mons just by excising it, like when I make my first cut, beveling downwards into the Mons area, and that's normally enough. But if it's not, at the end I have a last minute look. I call it a sanity check, just like, look, I'm just going to look at this with fresh eyes. Is everything as good as I can make it? And if there's anything left over, and it's often a bit of liposuction, and there are some key areas to look out for this sanity check. Is the belly button nicely contoured? Is the Mons nice and flat? And actually this bit here, this area here, can often be a bit neglected. It's the furthest point away for liposuction from what you're doing, and just feel that. And you might just, if you really make a dedicated effort to feel that and check that at the end, you might just find out, I've missed that bit. When you liposuction it, comes out bright yellow, not a hint of red, hasn't been touched. That's a good save. You don't want to leave that on its own. So there you go.